instance, and you're telling me about that, and we're not in that kind of space yet. So I think it has actually affected in the way that people don't really have a conversation. Because if I'm in a relationship with you, I should know I'm in a relationship with you, and then you're not assuming that we are dating. We must communicate in that way. We say, yes, do we want to try this out? Yes. So now let's go ahead. But that we have met and we're fucked, and then you like me, and then you're thinking that we're dating. I think that's a problem. So that's also a kind of mentality that comes also with the hookup culture. People actually dating you and you're not dating them.
Well, I would say because of the too much sex aspect of our hookup sections we have here, we are unable to have those conversations because I think I met you at a party and we hooked up, the sex hookup. We've not had a conversation about, okay, can we do it again if we want to take it from just the normal sex and probably be partners or maybe be in a relationship. Because first of all, we are scared of commitment. Scared of commitment because there's another party coming up, and obviously there will be nicer people there at the party I would meet. So why would I come stick to you just because I met you at a party at the first time when I know other parties are coming up? I'll be meeting other people. It is just about we trying to explore more in the setting where we find ourselves. So the commitment is not there, the communication is not there, and we are scared. So let's just fuck and then move on. And it's affected a lot of relationships because you meet people, you genuinely know these people are good. If you should commit yourself, it will go a long way, but you are just not ready. Just not ready.
Okay, so no, wait. This is quite interesting. So let's talk about the heteros a little bit to build up something. So the heteros actually like comfortable enough to do cute things, you know, going on dates and buying gifts and all of that. I see it and I want to do same. Like, you know, obviously I want someone to like spray things on me. Thank you. I want to be kept. I want to be a stay-at-home husband and do nothing, just plan parties for my friends to come. But yeah, but then here is the situation we are facing. So how do you think we will be able to challenge this? Like, how can we challenge this thing, this situation that we are in right now?
You want to start?
We should talk about them. Everything starts with a conversation. We should talk about these issues. Some of us are sports already. We've learned and we've learned from the experiences. But we should talk to the young ones. I go out a lot and I meet people and they're, oh Lord, I want you to be my mom, my dad, I want to look up to you and all that. On Snapchat, my DMs are always full because you're cute and all that. Can I be your... So I think when we get them that way, it's about we talking experience to them. We talking our mistakes to them. I did this, it didn't work for me. Maybe you might do it, might work for you, but then if you should do it this way, I think it will be better. Then we are changing the narratives from where we got to, and they can also take it down. But then if we leave them to, oh, you get there and then you realize it was a mistake, they'll all be repeating the same mistakes we have repeated over the years. So it's just about we having, like this we are doing, open conversations about this, inviting people over to listen, learn, and then ask questions. People have experience, they can share and all that, and then we will move on. But then if I keep my experience to myself, I keep all those I've been through to myself, and I don't share them, someone probably somewhere will be going through the same thing and won't want to share them and repeat those same mistakes. And then the culture and the narrative is still piling up. But if I talk about mine, she talks about hers, Hans does same, okay, Hans did it this way, Lord did it that way. Okay, I can seek advice and then counseling and this from these people, and then I'll do it this way. And then we'll have a better place.
But
better
okay.
relationship-oriented people.
Okay. But I think that from where I'm looking at it, I think there's a like bigger problem than just like talking about it. Because I personally I feel like we are all trying to cope with the system that we find ourselves in, right? Exactly. Not just the queer culture or something, but then like the general society that we find ourselves in. So I don't know how we'll be able to change these narratives in this situation that we find ourselves in, because as I mentioned earlier, like, heteros get to do cute shit. You understand? But then I don't get to do it, but I want to.
We could also identify queer friendly spaces and places and visits, but the truth of the matter is we see those queer friendly places and we spoil the place. So I find this place as a queer friendly place. I can come here. Exactly. We are just too extra, especially the gay guys.
No, isn't that people living? Like, that is how people express themselves.
So you
like,
see, when you are doing those things, you put into consideration
how homophobic the society is, or something.
So I said a queer friendly place. So let's say this place is queer friendly. I can come here and have dinner. I can come here and have parties. The next moment, I'm having a dinner and a party and I'm breaking bottles.
Oh,
so
the
then
violence.
you draw attention to other people. Okay, these queer people go here and then they are fighting. We are breaking bottles. We are not keeping the place safe for the person who provided a safe space for us. If this place is safe and I can come and sit here with hands and have dinner and cross our hands and sip, hell no, and sip wine and all that, I think other people, okay, I want to take my boo out, but then I think, okay, Terrauta is a nice place to go. I can come and sit here. Because the heteros are doing it everywhere. They can just, I see the space is nice, let me go and sit there, call my girlfriend, come over, and then we have dinner, we have lunch, and that's it. And they do buy the gift, share, do I like you and all that, take pictures and do. But I can't do that probably at any nice functioning restaurant. I'll be drawing attention to my specific table, because already the society doesn't really, is not too friendly with that. So it's we finding queer friendly places and then not trying to spoil those places, not trying to be extra, like I said. Like, we should know where our rights and our limits ends.
Okay. This conversation can actually move somewhere else if I don't steer it back. So, Bettina, just because as you're giving your submissions, like, so many things came up, but then Bettina, like,
I don't know if I'm asking for too much, but I don't know if the queer world could stop or pause or just be a little bit further than being all comparison with the heterosexual world. We like comparing to them. Like, we want to have it all like them. It's true, we barely see queer movies like being shown on national stations. It's mostly the straight movies. But that doesn't mean we should apply it directly to our life. It's not going to be possible. As he said, queer-friendly places. Yet we go there, we spoil there. And this is what hurts me. They take they take probably Lord as a mentor. Then instead of them to get closer to Lord, to learn from Lord, they only get closer to Lord to, let me use the quote and unquote, fame. Because yeah, like Lord will be coming for an event here, and then what if this was a strictly by invitation event? Lord have gotten in plus a one. Oh, when Lord is coming, I'll come. And when he gets to the place, he's not going to learn gallivanting around. Because actually the people, I call myself to be a person in all terms. We have the advanced, the beginners, the intermediate, and the advanced. I fit in all three. I play with them there, I'm here. When you come here, I'm available. And I'm with them and I notice you're not ready to learn. Like, they are not ready to learn the new things. They feel like whatever they've seen on TV or whatever they've heard somebody do would work perfectly with them. But we are all different people. What I may like, you may hate it or something. They don't claim it in that aspect. And they feel like, and they are not out to almost everybody. So when their friends are in and they're like, hey, and I went with my boyfriend to this place, then she starts tuning her mind. Was it a nice place? Was there like their food like affordable? Are you sure security was? Oh, they are a nice place. You can try there. No, pardon my language. I mean, you take the person and go and put the person. Then you can't do certain things that on any boy in here. Please let me speak Chi. Like the English is not working with me right now. Like, can't even take off the wig right now because I want to speak. Cowrie. Let's do this. You just get there and then the person is telling you, when I got there with my boo, we held hands and we entered. Heterosexual people actually telling you this. Then you also go and you would want to hold hands and enter there. It's okay. It's like we understand ourselves, but other people from the back seat and be like, no, that's disgusting. we have homophobes like that who just anything that even if you're sisters, they don't expect you to hold their hand. I have one in my house. Even sisters, he's not ready to allow you people hold your hands anytime. You understand that? So it's not everywhere that you could carry whatever a heterosexual person did there. We want to be ourselves. We want to be living as she just said. But wherever your right end is just where someone's own starts. We should just consider all these things and then measure it to the fact that we can never be like them. If like for now, we can't be there. So the least we could do is just be in our own safe space and not allow that affect almost everything around us, including our relationships.
Okay, so wait, I'm going to hold on just 1 minute. There's a hand in there. Yes. Yeah, but let's start with Alex. Okay. Then we can.
Hello. Okay. Yeah. So I have a contribution to this, right? So I've heard all of what you guys have said, right? And in a way, I do agree, but also in another instance, I also in a way disagree, right? And the reason why I am disagreeing in a bit is that as a community, okay, as LGBT community, we have gone through a lot, and we still go through a lot, okay? There has been systems that has been set in place for almost everyone to follow through with this whole system, right? So the system is one that clearly discriminates against LGBT persons in this country, okay, of which we all know that, right? But then again, too, don't forget, when we pick the LGBT community, there is diversity within the community. We always have to understand that the fact that you identify as a lesbian or gay or bisexual or transgender or whatever, the fact that you don't do this and that, it doesn't necessarily mean the same thing has to transcend to another person who equally identify as gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex, whatever. Okay, so the point is that the very things that we are sometimes very hard on ourselves and blaming ourselves for some of the challenges that is happening, all of that. The truth is that when you pick the same challenge, and you said we shouldn't compare, but I'm still going to compare. The truth is that these same challenges are also faced in the heterosexual world. But because we are not there, we don't seem to get it, or we don't seem to look at it from that angle. But the truth is that whatever challenges we are facing is the same challenges we are facing there. And the bottom line is that we are all humans, and that is why we are facing those challenges. You are not facing the challenge because you are an LGBT person. You are facing the challenge because you are a human. And as humans, in every space we find ourselves, either you identify as gay or bisexual or straight or whatever, you still face those challenges. So for me, let's not be too hard on ourselves as community. We are different. We are diverse. It's okay to be different. We keep saying it all the time. Okay. And so we should be okay to be different. If I come to your club and I break bottles and I spoil it, then why heterosexuals also come to your club and break bottles? Why are you going to put the blame on me as a gay person? Let's all break bottles. We all break bottles. If you don't want bottles to be break at your club, write there that bottles are not breaking, and don't come and point it to the fact that because I'm gay, that's why I'm breaking your bottle. No, your bottle is already broken. So please, let's not be hard on ourselves as a community.
There are a lot of claps.
True. Let's not be too hard on ourselves. Let's not be too hard on ourselves.
Thank you very much. I've been alerted that our time is almost over, so I'm going to take 2 more, and then I'm going to go. So, no, there are more hands. Wow. Hey, plenty, sir. Today, baby, us here. Okay, so Fatima should go. Then, okay. Oh, Ezekiel. Can you switch on the mic?
Okay, it's on. Hi, good evening. So my name is Ezekiel, and I wanted to have make a contribution. I felt in the beginning of our discussion, we more or less narrowed down the meaning or the concept of hookup. Because I feel, even though to some extent, what is the dominant narrative in society pertaining to our sect is based on the fact that we are much more interested in the sexual aspect or the sexual pleasures that come with meeting new people. However, that is the reality. It's also part of hookup. It depends on what each and every individual wants from a specific encounter or a specific engagement with someone. That's why in the beginning, they make it clear to you, do you want to have sex with me? If they want something else, they will tell you. If someone is not able to articulate what they want from you, please leave the person. You're wasting your time. Because if you push the person further, you are going to end up wasting your time because they don't know what they want and their preferences will keep changing along the line. So I feel in the context of this conversation, it's okay if people want hookup and want to just have sex with you for the first time and not talk to you again. It's okay if someone wants to talk to you, go on a date with you, woo you for like 3 or 4 dates before having sex with you. It's perfect. It depends on what each and every individual wants. And secondly, I feel we need to be able to be mindful of this kind of narrative that exists, because in as much as narratives exist in society, what needs to happen is that individuals exist. And individuals have their own personalities that influence what action they take. So if someone goes to a club and decides to break bottle, the club owner should focus on attacking the person as an individual, because there have equally been other individuals that have come to the club and behave well and did not break bottles. Why is it that you are not praising them, and to some extent you want to demonize this particular person as a bad person to put a bad image for the entire group of people? It's unfair. So I feel even if that is the narrative that exists in society, in our safe spaces, we need to focus on changing that narrative and not be able to spew such narrative based on the fact that this is what exists in society, so we should also follow suit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ezekiel. So I'm going to plead with the organizers that I'm going to take 3 more submissions or questions, then we can wrap up. So I'll take the 3rd one from, Fatima.
Yes.
The first of 3.
Thank you for this conversation. I just wanted to react to a few of the ideas that came up on the panel. For me, it's around the idea of comparison. I think that first and foremost, as queer people, our existence is always held in comparison with heterosexual people. Yes. But then that comparison is always not fair. And that's the reason why we're even living the way that we're living, right? Because even though we're being held in comparison with heterosexual people, it's with the mind that they're the standard and everything is okay, and we have to aspire to be like them. Yes. But on the other hand, too, the way that society functions under heterosexuality and under, like, cis sexism and all of that is such that we have all we're all born with like very harmful ideas on what like relationships should look like, right? Relationships between people should look like. We have all these harmful ideas about gender roles and all of that. So if we are to say that like we should not compare ourselves to heterosexuals, I would say that it should rather be in that aspect, like to not compare ourselves to the norms, like to the harmful norms that cis hetero people kind of live by, right? But other than that, I think that when it comes to like desires and the things that we want to do, like if you want to hold hands with people you love and you want to express love in a certain way, I think that for that, I don't think it's fair to say to people, don't do this because you're not like them. We have every right, to do like as they do. Of course, it's up to everyone as an individual to weigh the risk, because we live in a homophobic society. It's up to everyone to weigh the risk that is involved. But I don't think it's fair to say, like, as a guiding principle of life, don't do what the heterosexual people are doing. Don't do the bad things that they're doing. Don't do the harmful things that they're doing. But if it's enjoyment that you want to enjoy, by all means, if you think that this is a risk, for whatever risk that is involved, if you think that is good for you, I think that we should give ourselves room to like really like exist the way that we want to. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. So the last 2, and then I'll come back to my panel and then we'll wrap up. Anyone else? The mic is going round. Well, I saw a lot of hands and now nobody. Oh, okay. So maybe the 2 submissions spoke for them. So for us to wrap up, I think we should all briefly talk about some of the harmful experiences that we faced as queer people because of the hookup culture that we find ourselves in Ghana. If you have any experiences, personal or general, I don't know, that's up to you. Any harmful experiences that you've encountered?
Probably not be I've encountered, but it will be an advice. Hookup apps are not really safe for us here, especially the gay men here in Ghana. And then we have dangerous or red zone hookups areas you shouldn't visit. So I think subsequently on I think LGBT Right Plus Ghana WhatsApp page, other NGOs WhatsApp pages, they post those red flags and those red zones areas. So when you're on the hookup sites and you are probably meeting someone from those areas, you should just be mindful and careful. And then if you are changing the narrative from just meeting and having sex and then meeting people to know them better before having sex, I think open places like pubs, bar, restaurants, recreational centers, and all those should be places we should try to meet people for the first time, and then we can take it from there. Then that way we are all playing safe some way, somehow. You could also meet someone at those places 3, 4, 5 times and they'll still plan what they want to do to you. But at least when you are meeting those people, you learn from their actions, their reactions, and all that. But aside that, our hookup apps are not really safe, so we should just play safe. Thank you.
So I want to say something. Yeah, it could go. That's if you have. If you don't, it's cool.
Well, personally, I've not faced any of that. I think, first of all, of course, I don't follow norms. I'm not someone who follows norms. I don't follow status quo. So when we're talking about people taking people out to dinner and lunch and all of that, I've done it several times and I've not been ambushed for it. I think what people will not really find necessary sometimes is PDA, that is public display of affection sometimes. You can't, I don't think there's any law that says 2 men or 2 women should not go to a restaurant and have lunch and cackle and laugh at their own jokes and eat good food and go back home and sleep like normal human beings. So I think I've never faced that. I've actually even kissed people in public and I've not been ambushed for it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
So I don't see the fuss about it. But I think the main problem, as people have pointed out, for me is the culture of comparison. When we want to compare everything that we do to what others are doing. Being a heterosexual is a whole phenomenon on its own. Let them deal with their heterosexuality. Being queer or bisexual or as far as anyhow you identify yourself, it's your own phenomenon. I think you should deal with yourself as a human being first and not compare yourself to others. What you want to do is a free world. Live free, love freely. That's my motto in life. I think I work with that.
So let's hear from the lead.
No, not you. I don't have the time. So I think I left out a major point or a word, and he's brought it so you would understand me. What I meant by going to places that heterosexual goes was based on the PDA, because you could hold hands with anybody and walk, but the extra we go was what I was actually referring to. Not necessarily just stepping out. I do the step out a lot, but the affection, like it could be there, but it's not everywhere that you can easily show it and you'll be tolerated. I'm talking based on the fact that I grew up at a Zongo place. I'm a pastor's daughter, so like you should understand what I mean by that. So I'm talking based on the fact that you just display it almost everywhere, and it goes against almost everybody because appearance counts, first impressions counts. Probably the first day we go there, if we behave so well and we have other friends who we come with other friends and they misbehave, we are definitely going to be given the credit that the last time you both came here, it wasn't that way. It was because you brought another set. So that was what I was talking about. I think I was misunderstood, and I'm sorry, statement retracted. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You have to.
Jesus Christ. This has been a very eye-opening conversation. I really am struggling with desire, in terms of being maybe a bisexual woman, because the parallels exist where I find it way easier to date men, you know, because it's so easy. It's almost like made for me to just choose my pick. But when it comes to women, I realize that it's more complicated. And personally, I feel like most of us maybe are into hookups more than into relationships, because we can't allow ourselves to dream of a future with somebody of the same sex in a country we love, because unfortunately it's homophobic. And to a large extent, I feel like for a lot of us it's a defense mechanism not to get emotionally involved. Personally, I think it is something I have struggled with since I am very emotional when it comes to women. And that is, I guess, to an extent, what has been violent to me. The fact that I can't really, like, have a fully realized dream of living happily with a partner who is a woman in a country I love. And whatever it takes to make that happen, if it's going out publicly and kissing girls, I think I'm going to try, because for me it's a dream that is worth it. So yeah, let's see what happens. Personally, me, I'm ready. Let's see how it goes. I don't want to be a martyr, but if it happens, it happens, because I want that world. I want to have that partner. I want to have those kids, and I want to live in Ghana doing it. And the more I find community, the more I realize that there are more people willing to listen. I know that it's feasible. So if you have the balls, let's do it, and let's see how far it goes. Okay, and if you don't do, I love you. We'll together. Amen.
Okay. I'm going to take the last thing we're going to, very last one, from the last thing that Suwaida said. So personally, all of you, what are your sexual desires personally? So I will end with that. Like, pour it down here, because some of you are already like shooting your shot to the public. So just go ahead and do it.
I want a threesome with a woman where the guy is not involved at all. So he's basically eating us out, right? And we are making out, like an intense make out. And then there's a section where he's eating me out and eating her out. And then there's a place where she's fucking him and I'm riding his face and we are making out and I'm kissing her nipples. And there's like a bathroom scene.
That's vivid.
See me later.
That's vivid. That is so vivid.
That's so graphic. Like,
I have talked about this long and hard.
okay. Ed, no, you will say yours. Please wait. Ed, what is your sexual desire?
I want to plead the fifth.
No, you can't do that here. Are you kidding?
I'm pleading the gay fifth. I've got a lot. So I don't think it's something
just
that
one that comes on top of your head right now.
I've done it all. So I am so sexually explorative. I don't think that there's something so far that I have thought of that I've not tried, that I've not done. I think I'm just doing the things that I've done before again. Yes. So.
Wow. Out of words.
Okay. Well, I think I've done almost everything. So I'm actually looking out for this. Is it a tom? If I got the word right, or
like a stud.
A stud or a tom strapped on.
So you want to be pegged up. That's how you call it, right?
House, and then I just want to experience how she's going to right? Take me through all the strap on, the waves, the handcuffs, and everything from a stud or
so a BDSM or something, but with a stud.
With a stud. I just want to experience.
Bettina, please.
Is this the point that we give the vote of thanks? Because I would want to give.
Can you pray for us already?
Okay, let me pray, please. No, I didn't come here today.
You are here. We can see you. Please say yours.
Oh I'm already words. Can you imagine?
I'm sure. No, I'm sure.
Okay.
She gives up.
No, I can't. So
You can't dodge this question.
but me. Oh. So. So I want to try BDSM, but I want to be the dominant. Yes, I don't think I'll be a good submissive though, because no, I'm not submissive. I said no, like no, I am not. So I want to do that. I want to like whip somebody like and like all 50 Shades of Grey thing. What they did, I want to like reenact it. Yes, I want to do that. That was like my like the whole red room, like packed everything. We're trying everything. That's what I want. All of that. Yes, all of that. That, yes, exactly that. And everything that can. Oh, okay. So I think thank you very much. You guys have been amazing, and thank you guys for listening and then for your contributions also. This conversation was supposed to be we had so many things we had to talk about, but unfortunately time we can't. So hopefully we will find another time and its place to have this conversation more deeper and then more fun. But thank you so much. Thank you Bettina, Hans, Suhaida, Kobe Lord. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation to be here. And thank you to the organizers of Adventures Live. I love Adventures Live. Ooh. Ooh. And you guys have done the reception, exactly. And you guys are doing amazing, honestly. Like, I can't begin to. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for this time and space. We appreciate you guys, and then we will please. Exactly. Anytime you need anything from LGBT rights, we are here for you. Thank you so much, and thank you for coming. Good evening.
No, let's take more.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Hello. Thank you, Mo, and thank you everyone who was on this panel. Can you hear me, please? Okay. So we've officially ended Adventures Live 2024 today. For today, the panel is over. So we're going to have like it's like a party type of thing, you know. But we'll need to clear out this area to set up the place. So I'll just say that if we can move over to where the vendors are, if we can move to the art exhibition, if you want to socialize, talk to people and all of that. In an hour's time, we'll officially like begin the party, and then by 8:30 we'll close and we'll be out of here. So thank you again, everyone, for coming. Also, please, the festival is running again tomorrow. We are starting registration at 10:30 a.m., but then the main panel starts around 12:30. So we would implore you to come again in your numbers as you have come today. And please don't come alone. Bring a friend, bring a partner, bring a side boo. Bring everybody. Was it 8:30? So we'll say there's a party going on. So if you want